The science says that pure stress can lead to a very high blood pressure. And if the stress isn't managed properly, you are going to be a blood pressure patient and be on pills. Today I'm going to talk about the different conditions in which there is blood pressure in the making just on the basis of stress that you are facing day in and day out. And in the later part of the video, I'm going to talk about what to do to stop yourself being a patient of blood pressure. So what is stress? Stress is anything that is making you uncomfortable and you want to change the situation. The short stress, the acute stress. Acute stress is something like you are driving to your workplace and on the way there is a traffic block and you are continuously being agonized by it. So that acute stress can raise your blood pressure up to 10 degrees. Or somebody has cut you off during your drive. Even that can raise your blood pressure from 140 to 150. If that kind of stress continues to be there, or you're a driver and you are unable to accept that this is how the reality works and this is how the other people are going to react and you can't control it, then over the period of time, you will develop a blood pressure due to chronic stress, and it has long been a scientific fact since 1999 via PMC study. Now I want to go into a little detail that how a stress creates a blood pressure. In the first place, the most important hormone that creates blood pressure is norepinephrine and epinephrine. These are part of the sympathetic system. The sympathetic system is part of the fight and flight system of the body, in which we are ready to fight for ourselves, defend ourselves if we are in danger. So most of the times it's not like that our life is in danger, because we have an instinctive system which will prevent us from that kind of harm. Any little stress creates the same kind of response that we used to have when we were in the Stone Age and we were facing the lion. Today, fortunately, we don't have to face the lion and the cheetahs that often. But the little things in life create that kind of stress, which leads to spiky rise in blood pressure, and that can create a rise in blood pressure of up to 15 degree. Now that 15 degree means a blood pressure of 140 jumping on to 155. So we need to be careful on the things that we get pissed off on. The next hormone that is important in stress and its relation to the blood pressure is cortisol. Cortisol is something that is present in the body. It's also a stress hormone, so-called, and it helps to provide body with sufficient sugar, but it also creates insulin resistance, so it promotes pro-diabetic kind of environment. So if you are having more of a cortisol, there are chances that you will develop blood pressure, but there is also a chance that you will develop sugar or so-called diabetes mellitus. So you need to be cognizant of the fact that whatever you are thinking, you are adding the poisons named like epinephrine, norepinephrine and cortisol into your body. Another Mayo Clinic wonderful study suggested that whenever we are in stress, we tend to eat more. And when we tend to eat more, naturally we tend to weight gain, and the weight gain leads to more of a blood pressure and more chances of diabetes mellitus. So this isn't good. So we need to be very mindful that what we are doing when we are under stress. Along with that, the same study told us that when you are in stress, it's obvious that you tend to smoke if you are a smoker, and if you are a drinker, you tend to drink more. Now both of these things don't have with the blood pressure, and ultimately it can lead to a contributory rise of blood pressure of more than 10 millimeter of mercury. So our stress and our response to stress both are creating blood pressure. Another interesting study by the British Medical Journal in 2017 told us that on the job, if you are under stress, it doubles the risk of hypertension. So you are having twice a risk of blood pressure if you are not satisfied with the job environment, or that is even true if you are at home and working from home. So whatever you are doing, you need to be having a second look if it's the right way for you to live your life or you need to redo the things. You can either go for the pills or you can change the environment or change yourself. Now this brings me to the second part of the video, that let's suppose if there is a stress. We can't change the world, but we can change ourselves. So how to do that? The best thing is, the study by JAMA told us that mindfulness and meditation works like magic in terms of controlling the stress and the blood pressure. Mindfulness and meditation is something that is really fashion these days, and probably to some extent meditation is more I think tilted towards the side where the spiritual element is lacking, and it's more of something that we need to show off to somebody else. So meditation is something that should be just for yourself. You should need to focus. Whatever the medium you are trying to follow, you can follow Sadhguru from India or anybody for that matter. A Healthy Minds program, which is purely scientific based, is also available on your phones. You can freely download it and follow that. It's a wonderful program. I have personally used that too. But any way of doing meditation is recommended, and that may prevent you from going to the doctor and using the pill. The next thing is changing the lifestyle. That includes changing your diet, shifting to a low salt, high potassium diet where there is a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, provided your physician has allowed you to use all those fruits and vegetables, and less of the chocolate and the so-called refined sugar things. If you use too much of the carbohydrates, even that can lead to ultimately blood pressure, diabetes and weight gain. Now, getting rid of the smoking and alcohol, it's obvious that it's going to help you with the blood pressure. So it's up to you to choose. Either you want to go for the pill or you want to change your life and take control in your hands. But never ever take all the decisions by yourself. You need to consult with your physician and discuss everything that you learned from this video or from anywhere, because you never really know what you are assessing for yourself may not be the right thing. It's a limited knowledge. So I would always request to always consult your physician before jumping on to any medical decision. I hope this video helps you and adds value to your life. Thank you so much.